What if I told you this war wasn't supposed to last more than 4 weeks? That was the plan, a fast strike, a decisive blow, a message sent to the world. But now we're weeks in, thousands dead, entire regions on edge, and the scariest part, it might just be getting started. So what really happened? Why did the United States and Israel launch a full-scale attack on Iran? Was it about nuclear weapons, power, revenge, or something much bigger? And the question everyone is asking, how long could this war actually last? Because history tells us one thing: wars like this don't end the way they begin. On February the 28th, everything changed. In a coordinated move, the United States and Israel launched massive airstrikes across Iran, targeting military bases, nuclear facilities, missile systems, and even leadership itself. Within hours, the unthinkable happened. Iran's supreme leader was killed. This wasn't just an attack, this was a decapitation strike, a direct attempt to destabilize the Iranian regime. And from that moment, there was no going back. Iran responded immediately, launching missiles and drones across the Middle East, targeting US bases, Israel, and even neighboring countries. What started as a precision operation turned into a full-scale regional war overnight. Now here where things get interesting, because the official reasons and the real reasons aren't always the same. Reason 1, the nuclear threat. For years, tension had been building over Iran's nuclear program. Negotiations failed, warnings were ignored, and according to the US leadership, Iran rejected every opportunity to abandon its nuclear ambition. From the US and Israel's perspective, this wasn't optional, it was preventive war. The fear? If Iran developed nuclear weapons, it would completely shift the balance of power in the Middle East. Reason 2, regime change. But here's the deeper layer. This wasn't just about nukes. Experts say one of the main goals was regime change in Iran. Think about that. Not just weakening Iran, but replacing its leadership entirely. And when you look at the targets, government officials, military leadership, infrastructure, it starts to make sense. This was designed to collapse the system from the top down. Reason 3, destroying Iran's military power. Iran isn't just a country, it's a network. Missiles, drones, proxy groups across the region. And the US-Israel strategy, destroy Iran's ability to project power beyond its borders. That means missile factories, launch sites, military bases, supply routes. In fact, thousands of strikes have already targeted these systems. The goal? Cripple Iran before it can cripple you. Reason 4, control of the region. Let's be real, this war isn't happening in isolation. The Middle East is one of the most strategically important regions in the world. Oil, trade routes, global influence, and when tension rises there, the entire world feels it. Some analysis believe this war is about long-term control and influence in the region, and not just immediate threats. Short answer, yes and no. What worked? Iran's missile infrastructure has taken serious damage. Production has slowed, launches dropped massively. Some reports suggest up to a 90% reduction in missile launches at a certain point. So what didn't work? Iran didn't collapse. In fact, it adapted. Even after weeks of attacks, Iran still has significant missile capability remaining. Half of its launch systems are still operational. Let that sink in. After thousands of strikes, the threat is still alive. And here's the bigger picture. Instead of weakening the regime, some experts say it may have actually made it stronger and more defiant. This is where things get dangerous, because wars like this don't stay contained. Iran isn't just fighting directly, it has allies, proxies, influences across multiple countries, and we're already seeing attacks on US bases in the Gulf, missile strikes across the region, rising tensions with neighbouring countries. This isn't just a war between 3 countries anymore, it's becoming a regional conflict with global consequences. And here's the terrifying part, both sides believe they can't afford to lose, which means escalation becomes almost unavoidable. At the start, the expectation was simple, 4 to 5 weeks, quick, controlled, strategic, but now that timeline is looking optimistic. So scenario 1, a deal is reached, strikes slow down, both sides claim victory. This could happen if Iran agrees to its limits, the US pulls back, Israel enforces the outcome. But here's the problem, neither side seems ready to back down. Scenario 2, this is where things are heading right now. Continued strikes, retaliation, back and forth escalation, a war of pressure. Not total destruction, but constant conflict. Scenario 3, this is the nightmare scenario. because history shows wars involving regime change rarely end quickly. If Iran's leadership survives, this could turn into a prolonged conflict that reshapes the entire region. Scenario 4. This is the worst case scenario. More countries get involved, trade routes are threatened, global energy markets, they just collapse. And suddenly, this isn't just a Middle East war anymore, it's a global crisis. Here's the uncomfortable reality. This war may have started with clear goals, but the end is completely uncertain. Even experts admit there's no clear post-war plan, no guaranteed outcome, no simple victory. And that's what makes it so dangerous, because when powerful nations go to war without a clear endgame, history tells us exactly what happens next. Right now, we're at a crossroad. The war could de-escalate, it could drag into a long-term conflict, or explode into something far bigger. And every single day, that decision gets harder to reverse. Because with every strike, every retaliation, every life lost, the cost of peace gets higher. So the real question isn't just, why did this war start? It's this, can it even be stopped? Because if it can't, this might not just be another conflict, it could be the moment that changes everything. If you made it this far, comment your thoughts below. Is this a short war or the start of something much bigger?